us here for a little look at a sports story here is our Alex Weister, who today spoke with the coach of the Overton Mustangs baseball team about their upcoming, or about the season for this year. And they just came off a season where they were the runner-ups in the state championship, and this year they're trying to keep that magic going. So, Alex, talk to us about that.
So, of course, when you think of a championship team, of course, you wonder who's on that team. Are they able to run it back? And this is a pretty unique situation because coming off of that championship game where they fell short, their coach ended up leaving and now going to Jacksonville. And along with that, there was around 7 seniors that graduated from the team. So there's only 3 starters from last year's team that are going to be starting this year. So it's pretty much an all-new team, an all-new coaching staff, but it isn't an unfamiliar staff to playoffs and being able to play at a high level. Of course, a lot of the players that are going to be filling in for the starters that have left were around the team last year, and they'll be able to lean on some of that playoff experience from some of the other players on the team. And then from the coaching staff, it's the first year for head coach Braden Robey. It is his first ever head coaching gig. Prior to this, he was at Kilgore, where he was an assistant for the basketball, baseball, and football team. And of course, some of you may know Kilgore making it to the state championships last year. So he has that experience being around a championship team already. And bringing with him on his staff is actually his dad. And he talks about that a little bit in the interview. You know, that love for coaching started at a really young age, and it's something he's always wanted to do, and that sort of came from watching his dad, who was a high school baseball coach himself. So it's a pretty unique coaching staff, a pretty unique team, and one being around it, I think they still have a good shot at being as dominant as they were last year.
All right. Well, we're going to hear now from the new coach of the Overton Mustangs baseball team, Coach Braden Robey. And we're going to hear about what his plans are for this season, trying to, rekindle that magic they had last season, see if they can head to the state championships once again.
Uh, Whenever somebody had asked me when I was younger what I wanted to do, my answer was always, I want to be a coach. I want to be a baseball coach. So my dream has always been to be a head baseball coach. I was at New Summerfield for a couple years, and then I moved to Kilgore. That's where I spent most of my time, and I've coached under some really, really good coaches at Kilgore, and I'm blessed to be able to work with them. But when Overton opened up, Coach Lamance gave me a call, and I thought it was a great opportunity to come and start my career as a head coach.
And so this is your first opportunity as head coach.
Yes, sir.
And talk about this position in particular and what really drew you to Overton.
Well, they played in the state championship last year, so that, in itself, it draws you to it because you're like, these kids, they know how to do it. They know how to get to the state championship. They know what winning feels like playing into the summer because, it's tough when you in school and you still have to go practice and play and everybody else is enjoying summer already. You still have to go to work every day. So that's really what drew me here is, knowing these kids like to win, knowing these kids want to work hard and get after it. And I couldn't be at a better place for it.
And how many players are you returning from last year's team?
Returning 3 starters, returning about 8 guys that were on the team last year, but 3 of them are full-time starters. We got Rylan Holloman, Brody Brown, and Landon Hill. They were all 3 starters and 3 key components to return for us.
And now, taking over for a coach that took the team to state, how did you sort of get them to buy into what you were bringing?
Well, it's not a whole lot different than what Coach Cook did probably. I've known Coach Cook for a long time. He's a really good guy and good coach. It's not a whole lot that I have to change other than get them to buy in what I'm talking about. And so far, man, these kids they're hungry to buy in.
And now, how much pressure comes with taking over for a coach who took the team to the state championship game?
Originally, I was like, there's a lot of pressure on me, but the longer I've done it, I don't have any pressure. These kids, they want to do it. That's the only pressure I have. They want to get back to that spot, and so the pressure, it kind of goes away when the kids want to work.
And now talk about expectations for this upcoming season. What are you expecting, and what can fans expect from the team?
You know, we're gonna be a real hard-nosed baseball team. We're gonna do things a little old school, a little unconventional than this new style of baseball. We're gonna get after it. We're going by the thing of dirt bags, and dirt bag baseball is relentless effort. You know, giving every ounce of effort you have every single play, leaving it all for the team. Don't do anything for yourself. So we're gonna play very unselfish baseball. When we need to bunt, we're gonna bunt. When we need to hit and run, we're gonna hit and run. Stuff like that. I expect very high things from this team. Um, we have very high goals for ourselves, and we're trying to obtain them.
And what has the reception from the fan base been like so far?
And the community here is just unbelievable. You know, I walk around and people that I've never met before, hey, Coach Robey, how you doing? And I'm like, very nice to meet you. Tell me your name, please, because I don't know you yet. But the community is awesome. Anything that I need, they're like ready to jump on it. Parents have been out here helping work on the field some. It's just an unbelievable place.
And now, of course, returning three starters and, of course, the championship run that the team had last year. What do you sort of expect from this team? Where do you guys expect to go?
You know, ultimate goal is to win the state championship this year. At the end of the day, that's the goal. You know, district championship is the first goal. Second goal is to go win a state championship. Um, and these kids, they've been there before, so they know what it's like. So that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, is to go win us a ring, go get a state championship.
And, of course, because they didn't win it last year, do you feel like there's still room for this team to improve
Oh,
and get better?
yeah, absolutely. This team, they've got so much room to improve. You know, they had an incredible run last year, and then, you know, didn't end up how they wanted it to end up. But I think that's left them hungry, wanting to go back and bring home that gold instead of bring back second place. That's the big thing that we're trying to preach this year is, you know what it feels like, go back and win. Okay.
And now, for you being a first-time head coach, what's that like for you?
It's a dream come true, really. I thought these guys were coming to mess with me. Sorry. It's a dream come true. It's it's something that I've wanted my whole life, is to come and lead these young men. And to me, it's more than baseball. And it helps with baseball. To me, helps with so many things down the road of being a father, being a husband. It helps you understand adversity, and adversity is going to hit you in life. So that's the big thing for me, is just be able to grow these kids into young men.
And, of course, there's a bit of an interesting contrast, of course, making the team making the championship last year, but the team bringing in a young group, and you as a first-time head coach, do you feel like there's a lot of that hunger and that want for something that, even though you guys made it last year, there's a lot of new and a lot of people that are still proving themselves here?
Yeah, there's a lot of hunger. A lot of these kids, I mean, a lot of these kids, there's a bunch of freshmen out here. There's, sophomores, a bunch of kids that didn't get the chance to be on that team last year. They saw, like, this group, the group last year made a run to state. They played in June. That's awesome. And I think it's made them hungry. All these kids have bought in, and they've been busting their tail since the first day of practice. And it's something that's pretty special here. Leaves a lot of energy for us because, I'm young, they're all young. We get to have a lot of fun. I mean, we got to come out the other day, and we were only able to hit, and we had a snowball fight to end practice. So, we're just trying to have fun and win a lot of baseball games.
And now, being able to go to that state championship game and be able to make that run in your first year as a head coach and be able to establish your legacy off rip with something like that, what would that be like for you?
That would be something pretty special, because not very often as a first year guy, get to go play in a state championship, much less win one. Like I said, that's the ultimate goal, is to go win a state championship. But to be able to get there, that would be a way to start off a head coaching career, that's for sure.
And just wrapping up, is there anything else about this year's team or about the upcoming season that you'd like to add that I've not asked about?
Just come out, support us. These kids are fired up. They're hungry. They want to win. They want to be successful. Give us support, and we're going to try to do something special and make Overton very proud of us.